How many times have you been told that you're too deep, too intense, too much? Let's talk about it. I was having a little conversation with my mom today, and I mentioned to her that it seemed like she didn't always know what to say to me. And she told me that sometimes she feels like I am too deep for her. And she didn't say this with any malice or anything like that, but it really got me thinking because I thought, how many times have I heard that before in my life? Not just now, but also when I was younger. And I found myself feeling not upset, but I felt heavy and I didn't really understand what is it that I'm feeling. And I came to the realization that being told that you're too much of something is almost the same as being told that you're not enough. Because if someone says, you're too deep, you're also not enough of what you want them to be. Does that make sense? And so once I sat there for a little bit and I kind of processed this heaviness and I kind of detached myself and really thought about it, and I thought, who am I? Am I deep? I had to ask myself, am I deep? And yeah, I am. And not just a little, probably a lot, but am I too deep? Now, this is really what I'm trying to understand, because when people tell you that you're too deep, usually it means you like to ask the hard questions. Maybe you like to ask a lot about emotionally driven questions, or you maybe ask the questions that people don't really want to answer. And so, yes, sometimes I feel like if I was just to have conversations the same as your average person does, like in the office, your small talk, which I am able to do, but that is also not necessarily fulfilling to me. I can have these kinds of conversations all day long with various people, but at the end of it, I don't necessarily feel connected to them. I don't feel like I know them anymore. And so I'm that person that might ask the one uncomfortable question, or why did you feel that way? Or what made you say that? I might pry a little bit more than the average person, because really all I really want to do is feel connected to you. And in order to feel connected to you, I need to understand and know you on a deeper level. And not only that, but I try to do the same for you. So rather than just give you a surface level answer, I will try and give you a little bit of depth, because my intention is for you to know me. And so that got me thinking. I remember watching a video a few years back, and it was a woman speaking about how to know somebody is the sixth love language. And then one step further for that, to know somebody deeply for me is absolutely a love language. And for somebody to know me deeply, which means you don't just know me for the usual everyday conversation and things that might be said in passing. You know details about my life that require some level of prying or some level of intimacy, that we sit down and we share that information. Not only that, it's not always in conversation, but I think many times in moments where I'm out experiencing things, I would always take the extra step to be very present, which means where we might be at a tourist attraction or an event where everybody's buzzing around and taking pictures, I might be that one person who is sat in the back quietly, eyes closed, taking a deep breath. And for me, what I'm really trying to do is see how I'm feeling in this moment, because not only am I seeing something, I'm feeling very deeply in this moment. And I want to tap in and tune into how I feel, just to really understand myself and how I'm responding to the world around me. And these things, as I'm saying them to you, seem very trivial and seem absolute the norm to me, but I forget that they aren't the norm to everybody. And so, what do you do when people tell you that you're too deep? I am realizing it's absolutely the most important thing in the world to stay true to who you are. And I know that that is so hard in a world where people are always telling you you're too much of this and not enough of that. And it can really carry heavy, and you can really start to question and doubt yourself. But when you really think about it, where did these things come from? What are your interests? Why are you interested in the things that you are? For example, if I'm interested in depth because that is how I feel known and loved, what is wrong with that? And if that is how I get to know and love you, then nothing can be wrong about that. I understand that people may feel uncomfortable. I understand that it's not for everybody, but that doesn't mean that you need to change the way that you show up in the world. Because by dimming that down and by not showing people that part of yourself, you'll forever be masking and you'll forever become a people pleaser and betray yourself. It is never a bad thing to feel deeply. In fact, the world is crying out for people to feel more deeply and to share that. What is actually happening is that we live in a world where people are chronically stressed, chronically overstimulated, and everybody is screaming out for a distraction. And so, in a world where everybody is super busy, they are already overwhelmed with their daily life things, it can be very difficult for somebody else to feel like they are asking more of them than they have to give. They just don't have the capacity. And that is okay. That doesn't mean that you have to change anything. And that doesn't mean that they have to change anything. But there should be an understanding of the importance of depth as a superpower. The world needs people who feel deeply, who are intuitive, who are creative because they feel into themselves. And there are endless people like that exist. And it may not feel like it to you because maybe in your inner circle or your family, you are the one that is deep. You're the one who likes to ask the tough questions. Maybe you make people feel uncomfortable and that makes you feel like an alien in return. But I am telling you now that there are people out there that are literally sitting there and praying to meet someone that is like them, that can sit under the stars and ponder the universe, ponder the world, ponder yourselves, and where that is the ultimate conversation that they want to have. And so if you haven't found this yet, keep trying, and just know that your people are out there. But just whatever you do not change yourself. Do not stop asking those questions. Do not change yourself. Do have awareness and know, though, that if somebody tells you you're a little bit too deep for them, don't take it personally and just know that they don't have the capacity for you at the moment. Both of you are right, and that's okay. But what I will suggest is find your people, whether it's online, whether it's, philosophical speaking groups. Just there's people out there. There are thousands of people out there, millions of people. When I went traveling for almost 4 years now, my eyes were opened so much to the amount of people that exist in this world. And that sounds so ridiculous, but when you are born and raised in a town and you just live out your years there, you forget actually how small that feels because everybody is very similar and you might have lived similar lives. And when you go away and you travel and you come across thousands of international people, I was like, wow, there are so many incredible people in this world, so many expansive people. My little world that started off like this just went, suddenly, no, I'm not the deep one, honey. In some conversations, I'm the shallow one. And that is okay. This world is big enough for you to fit into it and for you to show up in your fullest self no matter what. And so I just wanted to make this little video just now, just as a reminder that if people tell you that you're too deep, it's okay. Deep people are needed. Deep conversations should be had. And if that's how you feel loved and connected with another, keep on doing it. That's the only way that you can show up authentically. And that's the only way that you will actually be received truly how you want to in life. Anyway, that's just a short video from me today, and I hope that message is clear. And if you have any stories for when people have told you that you're too deep, put them in the comments below. Let's talk about it.